always thought that my freedom was the most important. I have to be able to say what I want, I have to be able to do what I want. Because I think it's time we change the world for the better. So, I've been an entrepreneur, I created many companies. And my focus is to be entrepreneurs for the common good. Not entrepreneurs to become filthy rich and then donate some money to good causes. No, do good causes all my life. That's what I am.
So we have several questions about global connectivity and environmental education.
Sure.
So, how we can use the environmental education for raising awareness?
You know, environmental education can only work for increasing the awareness about the needs when it's full of surprises. You know, we're competing for so much attention all the time that if we're just doing awareness raising, I mean, everyone is doing awareness raising. I mean, even companies have been competing with plastics for decades doing awareness raising, and how are you going to compete with them? So the key element in environmental education is it must include solid surprises. Like I said, how did the apple get up on the tree? How come they never told you? I mean, I can show some of those teachers. None of them will know how the apple gets up on the tree. They cannot tell me the simple laws of physics. So if we don't know how an apple got up on the tree, what do we know about life? So, surprise is very important. Second though, you need to have solid science. The science needs to be strongly embedded in whatever you're doing. Because otherwise, you're pure fantasy. But we need the fantasy to move to a vision, and that's where the science comes into. So we don't have to forget about the fantasy, but we have to source ourselves in our fantasy to move towards a new vision of the world. And that will help to the awareness. The only way that we're going to have a future is we ban all the schools. We stop teaching the way we're doing today. And if you are not doing that, we're going to keep on repeating the same industrial errors as we have been doing all the time. You cannot have a little bit of sustainability on a sauce, as a sauce on a main dish. The main dish has to go. And the worst that we have today is our education system. Have you know the song of Pink Floyd? Okay, I was singing Pink Floyd as well. What happened? Nothing. We still have a mind control. It's worse. We're chasing diplomas all the time. And the biggest industry today is selling diplomas. We don't need to be there. We need to be in a different atmosphere. So to me, that is the key element in the shift we require.
And you talk about artificial intelligence and science in your speech. Do you make projects you can raise sustainability with, on partnership with companies who work on science and artificial intelligence?
You know, nature is so complex, and if we want to emulate the way nature works, then we will need to get into artificial intelligence. It's not because we want to dominate the communications of billions of people, or we need to do data mining or super fast trading on the stock exchanges. That's not the artificial intelligence we require. The artificial intelligence I have required and teams have developed is how do we get a kite working for 12 months in a row generating power. That requires artificial intelligence, because the pulling of the rope by the robot needs to get an instruction on how far to pull and when to pull, and that is artificial intelligence. So we are in need of emulating nature, and you can't emulate nature with its complex decision making if you don't have artificial intelligence. So, artificial intelligence is a precondition for becoming really sustainable.
And you wrote a book called Blue Economy. Can you tell about it?
Well, I wrote the book, The Blue Economy, because we're sick and tired of the green economy. I mean, I've been fighting for 30 years for the green economy, only to realize that whatever is green is expensive, so it's for the rich, and whatever is green is still accepting the model that you must have economies of scale, you must be competitive on price, you must globalize, you must automate. No. The priority of life and economics is responding to the basic needs of people and nature. And if you are not responding to the basic needs of people and nature, you shouldn't be around. And so that is why I felt the green economy accepts the existing business model and is only expensive thus for the rich. We need a blue economy where we respond to people's needs, we use what we have, and we focus on generating value, like the coffee. I'm generating 100 times more with my full coffee bean than what today is generated with just the powder of the coffee. And everything else is wasted. So we need to have an economy that responds to everyone's needs. And we can't protect nature. We have to put nature back on its evolutionary path. Protecting nature for 50 years, WWF and IUCN, has failed. We have to say it the way it is. It has failed. We have gone bad. Whatever great efforts were behind it, the result is bad. Now, if you want to get different results, you can't do more of the same. You got to do things differently.
And how can the environmental education can be widespread to all around the world?
The only way to widespread it is to tell little stories that are fascinating for everyone. Then it will spread like fire. I'm in 735,000 schools in China. You know, why? Because the teachers in China said, oh my God, I didn't know this. What do you mean? The apple goes up in the tree. How come? Do apples fly? No, they don't fly. So, and how does the whale pump 1,000 liters with 6 volts? It's 2 little batteries. And it's pumping 1,000 liters for 80 years without any maintenance. Hey guys, how come they don't teach it in school? I mean, if you want to learn about renewable energy, you know how the apple goes up, you know how the whale pumps 1,000 liters for 80 years. You know renewable energy better than any engineer. And so that is what we're in need of. So the only way to get the spreading everywhere of environmental education is to translate it into fascinating little stories that are never more than 3 minutes. So people say, give me more.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you very much. And can we publish the photos and the videos?
Everything. I'm open source. You can exploit, use, sell, resell. You know, don't pay commission. Don't let me know. Just do it. My main action is do it.
Okay.
Okay? I think this is yours. Oh, is that my charger? Well, it's supposed to. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Very kind. I know you're from Izmir. No? Well, it's on your shirt. I read. Where are you from? India. India. Nice to meet you all. Pleasure. I want to go back in because the next speaker is a dear friend of mine, and I've never heard her speech. She's going to talk about how girls save the forests by creating a school in the primary forests in Latin America. So let's go and listen to the show. You can take a photo.